Yeah, it was pretty hot where I was at St John's, and reasonable game. It was a game of a bit of tension because St John's want to start off with a good scoreline. Douglas High School Old Boys, who, sort of 2 or 3 years ago were really at the top of the league, competing with St George's and others, but at the moment, different team out there. But today they did all right. Robbie Ward, it was, who got a header after 11 minutes. Good finish by him. And Old Boys just had a couple of other chances. I thought Nathan Holzo would have scored on a different day, but it just didn't quite work for him today, and his shot went wide. But Mike Booth got a goal, and it looked as if it was all safe with about 2 or 3 minutes to go, and he scored it to make it 2-0. And then St John's were awarded a penalty. Paul Whitehead it was, who brought down just the edge of the box. It was it a harsh penalty? It's one of them. You're going away from goal, don't commit, just stay there. But Paul was judged to have been impeded, and he stepped up and took the penalty with about a few seconds to go of the game. So Old Boys finished up 2-1 winners, so good start for them.
Mm-hmm. And we also have one pretty nasty injury by the sounds of it, didn't we?
Yeah, we did, and we'll come to that later on. I think it was in Division 2 by the sound of it, and it was in the Governors against Braddon game, I think. But we'll check on that one because clubs have been a bit slow tonight to get the scores in, so they need to improve on that one. And we keep telling them there's no point in texting through Saturday afternoon's radio programme because Paul's doing a show. He can't collect the scores. The rules are quite clear. 682-630 is the number to phone, or just text through to myself and I can relay the information back to you, Rhian. But let's have a look at the other Premiership scores. That's, as you rightly say, Moran against Ramsey game kicked off at 3:30. So on my reckoning, it should be just finishing about now. So if you can, text us through 166177 and we'll give out the score and scorers in that one. But Laxey 5, Douglas Athletic 0, so great start there for Laxey. And Matthew Wilkinson with one, Michael Fernandez got a goal, Aaron Bradley, Harry Walters and Luke Strickett Morling with the other one. Ayr 3, Douglas Royal 4, that's a great result for Douglas Royal. We haven't got Ayer's goal scorers, but for Douglas Royal, Taylor Andrews with one, Sam Baines with a goal, good player Sam is, and Dan Sherry. Delighted to see him back because I watched him break his leg about 18 months ago in one of the finals down the bowl, and it looked pretty nasty, but I think Dan's worked really hard to get himself fit again, and playing with his little bro as well in the same team, it's always nice. So I'm pretty certain Dad Gary enjoyed watching that one, but 2 goals for him today. And when I saw Douglas Royal with 1 or 2 players possibly going to university who would score the goals, I'd heard that Dan had signed for them, and I thought if he can find the skill and ability that he's got pre-broken leg, then it could come good for him, and it looks like he's found it straight away. And well done to Dan,
comeback.
And well done to Royal. You know yourself, you've had a serious injury. It can knock you for 6. Some players can come back, and some mentally find it very, very difficult. But Dan put it right today, so congratulations.
Congratulations, definitely, to him, starting strong. In JCK Division 2, Castletown doesn't sound like the best start for them.
No, it doesn't. And, with Castletown today, it was a question of just get a team out. Let's have a look how it goes and then build from that one. And James Cruish it was who got the first one. Bazza, Barry English with the second. Connor Dawson got a goal. And Ethan Levers put one away. Skippy Lancaster with his first official league appearance for Onken, transfer from Douglas Royal with a couple of goals. Paul Whitley as well from Douglas Royal got a couple of goals in that as well. And Tommy Lanier, it says here, I think that's Tommy Lancaster, got one. He's not going to be outdone by his elder brother. And Tommy, I think, will finish off as a higher goal scorer than Skippy at the end of the season. Let's just steer it a little bit. But a great result for Onken, and 5-0 at half-time. So good performances in both half for them.
Absolutely. The Colby-Maloo game, so Colby 8, Maloo 5, that seemed to be the one to watch in this league by the sounds of it.
Definitely, because at one stage, Rhian, the game was 5-1 to Maloo. So incredible turnaround by
comeback.
Colby. Haven't got Maloo's goal scorers, so if you can text us through 166-177. But, Maloo must have thought at 5-1, it's theirs to lose, and they lost it in the end because Carl Hickey scored 4. Now, if I remember rightly, the first game of last season, Carl Hickey scored 8. So there's just something about the first game of the season that he likes. And I know he feels absolutely gutted that he didn't win the silver boot because he was way ahead of everybody. But unfortunately, COVID-19 kicked in and the season's null and void, and you can't give out awards when the season's not finished. But great start by him. Jordan Edge got 2 as well. Stevie Collister got one, and a score sheet from Colby wouldn't be the same without Jordan Primrose Smith there, because he's a good goal scorer. So it finished up Colby 8, Malou 5.
That's a fantastic comeback.
Flying.
Massive, yeah, absolutely flying. Massive confidence boost starting the season strong. Not the most enjoyable game for Union Mills. Not for Union Mills, for Paul Rose, who lost to Union Mills 20-0.
Yeah, and again, Paul Rose, I think, had 2 at training on Thursday. Paul Rose today just found it tough going, but you look at the end of the season when the trophies are being handed out in Division 2, Union Mills are going to be right in there. Great performance by them. I'm pretty certain Stephen Fox would rather have had a tougher game. You know, no one gets joys out of playing in that.
Yeah, there's no winner.
They've got to do a job, because it could go down to goal difference at the end of the season. I believe Union Mills were 11-0 up at half-time. Steve, if you can text us through, please, 166 177 or to me, and we'll give the scorers a mention, because we haven't got the scorers in. But the Braddon 0, Governors Athletic 3. We had to double check on that one, didn't we? And it was 2-0 to Governors at half-time. And this is where the injury is. Kastoff Lazaroff got one and has got a suspected broken cheekbone. He's a big guy. I mean, he's whatever, 6'4", 6'5", and solid as anything. So we wish him well on that. Nathan Punsai got the second one for Governors, and Mike Doyle got the third. I don't think it helped matters. I think they had one sent off. Might have been Sean Dodd, but Governors held the nerve and beat Braddon 3-0. That's a good result for them.
Good. And Canada Life Combination 1.
Got one more in Division 2.
Oh, do apologise.
Foxdale 1, Douglas and District 0. Good performance by D&D. Half-time was the same. Jay Chatwood, usual goal scorer. And I've just noticed on the bottom of my sheet here, it says 4-1, but no other scorers. So I don't know if that's another game. But at the moment, the score I've got here is Foxdale 1, D&D 0.
And Canada Life Combination 1, what was the standout match in that? Well, Ramsey Moran 3-3.
Yeah, and this one kicked off early to allow for the other game to be played. And Jamie Garnett got 2 for Ramsey, one which was a penalty. Brandon Bignell got the third one. For Moran, it was Alex Morley with one, Joe Neal and Bobby Thorne with the other one. Douglas Royal against Ayr. Could do with the scores, please, guys. And Douglas Athletic against Laxey as well. We're missing the score on that one. As of Douglas High School, Old Boys and St John's, we'll let them off this week because it's the first set of fixtures of the new season. But St George's beat Russian 2-1, so that's a good result for St George's. St George's were 2-0 up at half-time. Haven't got their goal scorers, but Russian as goal scorer was Jordan Corkle. Good player he is as well. And in the final game, we've got a score, big game as well. Peel 1, Corinthians 5. Alec Elagongu got the goal for Peel. For Corinthians, Joe Middleton, promising young player coming through the system with 2. Adam McCulloch got 3 in a friendly last week, but 2 for him today. And Joey Marquez celebrating his inclusion in the under-18s Ireland squad, getting the other goal for Corinthians.
Any surprises today, would you say?
No, not really. Well, maybe Russian, because, Russian always pretty strong in combination 1. St George's, it's a little bit unknown how strong they are. Peel against Corinthians, I think if the league had finished last year, Corinthians probably would have won it, because they had games in hand on other teams around them. The other ones, Ramsey Moran, I think is about equal, but Douglas Royal against Ayr and Athletic against Laxey. It'd be nice to have those scores and scorers if they could, please.
Okie dokie. Let's move on to FC Isle of Man. Speedy recovery to your man in JCK Division 2, by the way. So tonight is set to be a historical night for the Isle of Man as the brand new club makes its debut in front of a sold out home crowd, which is amazing, when they go up against Guernsey at 6:30 this evening at the Bowl. For those of you who've missed the boat on getting a ticket, don't fret. The match is going to be streamed live and you'll be able to watch that via FC Isle of Man's website. So that is fcisleofman.im. Paul Moran from Manx Radio is also going to be at the game, and he's going to be sending regular updates back to Christy to keep you in the loop. And yeah, it looks like your speech on Friday Sport Preview yesterday really rallied the troops to get down and support the team, because a sold out crowd, that is like a player's dream in any sport to perform in front of. So yeah, fantastic support by the locals.
2,000 people, Rihanna. I take it as 2,000 because 3,200 was an absolute nightmare for the Isle of Man FA when they did it a few years ago, because the securities, health and safety and everything is huge. But I believe there's 2,000. I spoke to Paul Jones just over an hour ago said, how's the stress levels? He said, no, it's fine, it's no problem. He says, I'm actually feeling a little bit guilty because they were sat down at the bowl with nothing to do because, this morning all the crews were getting set up, cameras and stuff like that. Sky are wanting a piece from it, which is absolutely brilliant. The weather, you can't complain. You can see the game from behind the railings, but unfortunately, security-wise, health and safety, they just can't cram them in. And I've been inundated with phone calls, and I've asked Paul, is there any way they can help? And they just can't. They'd be absolutely lynched if they allowed everyone in. And
well, that's why it's good they're streaming
it
live. That's the best alternative.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I said before, if you want to watch the game but you can't get in, FCIsleofman.im. Check out the game live on the website from 6:30.
Just before we go, Rhian, we've got a combination 2 scores. Onken against Castletown, the game was postponed. Douglas and District against Foxdale. No scores come through. Governors Athletic against Braddon. I've got a 3-0 here, but I think that might be a repeat of the first team, so we need to check on that one. Union Mills against Pulrose. That was postponed because obviously Pulrose couldn't field a team. Ramsey Youth Centre against Jims. Haven't heard that score. And Maloo against Colby. Nothing has come through on that one. So, lads, we need to improve for next week. I'll give you dispensation this week because of new season starting.
Back.
But there's players out there and clubs who have had scores and scored goals who we can't mention because we haven't got the information.
Yeah, we want to hear about him.
Yes, please.
But yeah, we'll let you off this week. So what are your predictions for the FC Isle of Man game? Because FC Isle of Man obviously are fresh, baby-faced team going against Guernsey, who have had a fair few years more experience.
Well, they have. They played 10 years in the league. The Isle of Man, FC Isle of Man, go into the league system this year for the first time. Guernsey FC play 2 leagues higher than them, so Guernsey FC should win. I'm looking at the rugby score today. I don't know what it finished up.
It was 84-17 to Guernsey.
So it just shows you that massive jump because, I'd love to go and watch Douglas Rugby Club because they've been absolutely brilliant. 1920 season, unfortunately it was cut short, but it just shows that step up, how difficult it can be. And I know Douglas today possibly had a few players missing. Guernsey against the Isle of Man, it's always been a right battle in the Island Games, and some of the players for Guernsey FC will know the older players for the Isle of Man. I've got to stick with the Manxies to win.
Absolutely, be rude not to.
Exactly, but I'm looking forward to watching Ross Allen play. He's a brilliant player. He's come back in and played for Guernsey, and just looking for the occasion to get 2,000 people at a sporting event on the Isle of Man. Any sporting event, you can think of Cycle Week and stuff. Forget TT because that's the next step up.
Count.
I think it's just brilliant, and big thank you to the Manx public because FC Isle of Man are into a lot of money to make this work for them, and this is where we can pay them back by going to support them and hopefully keep the bills down. So well done to everybody.
Couldn't have asked for better. And I was going to touch on this with you yesterday, but we actually ran out of time. So the sold-out crowd, obviously fantastic, but FC Isle of Man, the development has ruffled a few feathers in the football community. Do you know the sort of general reaction from players in the local league has been, and spectators, the people within the local football league?
I think it's starting to hit home now what's going to happen. FC Isle of Man is going to take potentially the best 20-25 players out of Manx football each week. I know Chris is going to be picking 16 when they travel and probably 16 home. So 9 have got to go back to their club's cap in hand to see if they can get a game. That's going to cause a little bit of hassle, I think,
tension
in the club. But what the clubs have got to remember is there's 26 member clubs to vote. 25 voted for, 1 voted against. You've got to remember that. You voted to make it happen. So all I can say is support it. I'm a chairman of one of the top clubs on the Isle of Man. We've got 8 players that we're potentially going to lose to FC Isle of Man. Our club have supported our players. We'll just get on with whatever's left, and there's some real quality coming through in our club, and hopefully they're going to have the opportunity to shine.
You can never fault an athlete for wanting to go down a path that improves their game and improves their skill set as a player.
I agree with you 100%. It's every... I've spoke to Dave Christian about it. With rugby, they go away every other week. It's a massive commitment for the players. At the start, the players will be right up for it, but then when the injuries come and everything else, we see how it goes. Midweek games, I take it they're going to have to take time off work because if they're playing on a Wednesday night, they're going to have to fly away Wednesday lunchtime, play, and then I'm hearing they're coming back on the red-eye flight in the morning and then go to work. That's tough. But the players are up for it. The clubs have said, there's your opportunity, go for it. Now it's up to us to support it, but there's going to be some hurts along the way, and we've just got to try and get over those.
Makes the journey all the more exciting.